Grab your coffee, lock the screen. What you're about to hear isn't just another tabloid storm, it's a blueprint for how fame unravels in real time. A rising country singer has just dropped a bomb that's shaking Nashville to its core. She says her baby isn't a mystery at all, it's the child of country music's golden boy, Kay Rowan. A leaked DNA report, a silent Hollywood wife, a fan base in chaos. And one question that now hangs over the entire industry: who's telling the truth and who's deleting it? But the first shock isn't the rumor. It's the timeline the internet rebuilt because the clues were always there, hiding in plain sight. The week it began, Mara Blake went live for 6 breathless minutes. No names, no finger pointing, just a line that froze the timeline. "I'm done protecting people who promised to protect me." Within an hour, Number My Truth was trending in 3 countries. Within 2, fan detectives had a digital crime board worthy of a newsroom. And at the top of that board, Kay Rowan, the charming mentor, the family man, the one who had everything to lose. But this didn't start with a live stream. Months earlier, Rowan was spotted mentoring Mara at his label's studio. Normal until it wasn't. Late-night sessions. His tour hoodies on her, that lingering duet on stage, and a red carpet clip where his wife stepped aside as Mara took the spotlight. Harmless to most, alarming in hindsight. Then, one night, a document hit a small music forum. Blurry, redacted. 2 initials, KR and MB. And one number that made the internet stop breathing, 99.3%. Looking backward is dangerous because suddenly, patterns appear you swear you would have noticed. Fans replayed interviews. Rowan talking about blurred lines in the business. At the time, it sounded poetic. Now, it sounded like a confession. Mara's captions shifted from dreams to truth to freedom. A producer posted a photo captioned, "Studio at 2 a.m. again." Back then, everyone called it dedication. Now, they call it evidence. But patterns make great stories and terrible proof. For every gotcha, there's a counterclip. For every proof, an equally loud "you're reaching." And that's exactly what keeps people hooked. Because the internet doesn't care about facts, it cares about friction. Then came the receipts. Screenshots of cropped texts. A voice note with a familiar rasp whispering, "You know I can't fix this if it goes public." AI? Real? Doesn't matter. Because when the narrative's this juicy, truth is optional. Someone claiming to work at a clinic in Tennessee said a private test did happen. A legal blog said, if true, releasing it would break confidentiality laws. Another fan pointed out the font wasn't even the same used by real labs. But one thing was real: silence. Rowan kept posting guitar videos captioned, "Peace over noise." Mara deleted everything, leaving only one line in her bio. The truth doesn't need approval. And the wife? Gone. Vanished from social media. Her silence said more than a press conference ever could. But quiet never lasts. Not when the world wants blood or closure. Sunday night. Rowan goes live, no glam, no lighting, just him and a shaky camera. In life, there's love, mistakes, and lessons. Sometimes, lines get blurred. Not a denial, not an admission, something worse: ambiguity. The comment section erupted. "So, you're admitting it? What does that even mean?" Nicole deserves better. The stream cut off mid-sentence. Fan edits looped it like an interrogation tape. Every blink, every sigh, every silence was now evidence. Then, Mara returned. Dim light, puffy eyes. A single ultrasound photo on the table beside her. "This isn't a scandal," she said. "This is a life. No music. No filter. Just pain raw, unedited, real." The internet didn't scroll. It froze. And for the first time, nobody was laughing. Within hours of that live stream, the internet split into 2 armies. One calling Mara brave, the other calling her a career arsonist. But neither side could stop watching. By sunrise, 2 of Rowan's brand sponsors quietly hit pause. No official statements, just a sudden disappearance of his face from their websites. The tour page changed overnight from sold out to on hold. Not canceled, just waiting. Meanwhile, Mara's streams doubled. Her name trended for 3 days straight. Her song Half the Truth, written months before, shot to the top of every country playlist. Coincidence? Nobody thought so. Behind the scenes, lawyers were moving. Emails titled defamatory implications, character injury, misrepresentation. The kind that doesn't scream, it whispers. The kind that means everyone's scared. But fear doesn't stay private when the cameras are still rolling. While the world tore itself apart debating DNA percentages, one person said nothing. Rowan's wife Hollywood's quiet royalty disappeared from interviews, premieres, and fan events. Until one night, she posted a single image. A black and white heart, cracked down the middle. No caption, no tags, just heartbreak. Within an hour, 1 million likes. Comments flooded in. Stay strong, Queen. You don't need him. Grace always wins. And yet, not everyone was convinced. Some claimed it was just PR, an orchestrated act of control, not emotion. Others swore she looked relieved in paparazzi photos days later. But regardless of what anyone believed, one thing became clear. The fairy tale was over, and the cracks in their picture-perfect marriage were now headline-sized. In Nashville, chaos spread like wildfire. Producers canceled meetings. PR teams drafted statements that said nothing but cost a fortune to write. A record executive leaked anonymously, "We're in damage control mode." No one knows which side to back, the legend or the truth. Keith Rowan's colleagues stopped tagging him in collaborations. A charity gala removed his name from the host list. The same people who once called him the safest man in music were now ghosting him in public. And while everyone else was running from the mess, Mara's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Talk shows, labels, podcasts. Everyone wanted the girl who broke Nashville, but she didn't take a single call. She posted once a blank black square captioned only with, "Freedom hurts first." That post hit harder than any interview ever could. Not everyone believed her. A new narrative began to form, one that painted Mara as manipulative, strategic, even dangerous. Bloggers uncovered that half the truth was scheduled for release months before the live stream. Was the whole thing a rollout? Or just cosmic timing that made her story look too perfect to be coincidence? A studio insider claimed that the DNA report used the wrong font and watermark. Others argued that it didn't matter, the emotion was real, even if the evidence wasn't. Meanwhile, rumors swirled that Rowan had checked himself into a private rehabilitation retreat in Montana. Not for addiction, for emotional collapse. Photos showed him pale, thinner, staring off into nowhere. His team said he was focusing on recovery. Critics said he was hiding. And somewhere in all that noise, people forgot something simple. There's a baby coming into the world through all this chaos. But that baby's arrival would change everything. Then, one morning, a video surfaced, grainy, shaky, filmed from far away. Rowan, walking through a hospital parking lot, holding a tiny pink gift bag. The timestamp? The exact day Mara was rumored to have gone into labor. He didn't wave at the cameras. Didn't smile. Didn't say a word. He just whispered something under his breath and drove away. That 6-second clip broke the internet. To some, it was proof of redemption. To others, an act of guilt. Comment sections filled with heartbreak and anger side by side. He showed up. Maybe he's changing. Too late, the damage is done. Hours later, Mara posted a black and white photo, her hand holding a newborn's tiny fingers. No caption, just a single heart emoji. The world went silent again, then flooded. Millions of comments, millions of emotions, congratulations, fury, prayers, forgiveness. And at the top of them all, one message from a new account with just one letter. K. Nobody could prove it was him, but somehow, everyone just knew. Weeks passed. The headlines began to fade, but the impact didn't. Mara refused interviews. No PR, no apologies, no songs about revenge. Just a quiet post that read, "I didn't do this for fame. I did it for peace." Still, peace is hard to find when your name becomes a hashtag. Hate comments filled her feed. Industry doors both opened and slammed shut. But through all of it, she stayed silent, the same silence that once destroyed her, now protecting her. Meanwhile, Rowan resurfaced in a pre-recorded statement. Calm, controlled, broken. I made mistakes that I'll spend the rest of my life learning from. I let emotion guide me where character should have. And I take full responsibility. No denials. No excuses. Just truth, or at least the closest thing to it the public would ever get. And his wife? She made her first appearance at a charity event weeks later. Cameras flashed, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. When asked how she was holding up, she simply said, "Grace is the only thing I have left." That one sentence became a headline. Because sometimes dignity is revenge. By now, the fairy tale was over. The mentor, the prodigy, and the perfect couple gone. But what replaced them was something raw, human, and painfully honest. Mara's fanbase turned her into a symbol of courage. Rowan's legacy cracked but didn't disappear. And his wife, once defined by silence, became a quiet icon of strength. The world debated who was right and who was ruined. But deep down, everyone knew there are no clean sides when hearts break in public. Then, like a final whisper, a new song appeared on Mara's channel. No promo, no press. Just a title, Truth Hurts Twice. A soft acoustic track with a single line that cut through the noise. He said he'd stay until the end. But love don't live in shadows, friend. It wasn't anger. It was closure. And in that moment, everyone watching realized this story was no longer about betrayal. It was about release. And so the story came full circle. A rumor became a confession. A confession became a reckoning. And what was once a scandal turned into a mirror reflecting how we consume pain for entertainment. Because maybe that's the real headline. Not who lied, not who cheated, not even who cried, but how quickly we turn other people's heartbreak into background noise for our own boredom. For a week, the internet felt powerful like a judge, with no robe and a jury made of strangers. But when the likes stopped coming and the algorithms moved on, the same people who demanded truth forgot there were humans behind the hashtags. That's the part we never talk about. How fame devours mistakes and sells them back as content. How love becomes strategy, grief becomes marketing, and forgiveness becomes just another trending topic. Rowan's music vanished from playlists for a while. But months later, one of his songs, a quiet, unreleased track called Forgive the Noise, leaked online. The lyrics were simple. I chased peace through storms I created. I called silence my shelter, but it only echoed her name. It wasn't an apology. It was something deeper, a man realizing that no statement can fix what character once broke. As for Mara, she disappeared for nearly a year. Then, out of nowhere, a video appeared on her channel. No makeup, no lighting, no filter. Just her voice. When you tell the truth, people leave. When you stay silent, you leave yourself. The only peace that lasts is the kind that doesn't need an audience. Millions watched. But for the first time, nobody argued. Nobody picked sides. They just listened. And in that rare silence, something shifted, maybe small, but real. People began to realize that truth isn't entertainment. It's expensive. And the price is always paid by the person brave enough to speak it. Because at the end of the day, fame fades. Headlines rot. But character that stays. So as the lights dim on Nashville's loudest storm, the lesson echoes louder than the music. No matter how bright the spotlight shines, the truth always finds its way to center stage. And when it does, no one leaves the same.